All right, and welcome to day number 274. What's today? Is it? It's Monday. That's crazy. Um, I have very specific goals today. I really was like thinking about taking a nap, and I'm like, that's not a good idea because then I'm not gonna get back up. And yeah, that's a slippery slope. So I think I just want to go ahead and get my stream done first. So there's two things I want to do today. I want to get ready for Hacktoberfest because tomorrow is the first day of October, which is basically the month for Hacktoberfest. So today I'm gonna like try to briefly go through setting up like what going through the sign up process, and then also I'm just gonna talk a little bit about it. If it's people that have never did Hacktoberfest before, it should be helpful for you. And then I'm gonna work on my 12-week year goals. So this is just like kind of for me personally, but also very heavily affects the stream and a bunch of other stuff like the free code camp boot camp, like kind of getting everything together. I was thinking about doing a 12-week year because it's like a perfect timing for it. um, if you've never heard of the 12-week year before, it's basically like I guess it's like a goal setting, a goal management type of framework, but it's more so designed around the idea that in like 12 months of the year, a lot of times people don't typically get as much accomplished in the earlier times of the year. And in a lot of cases, most of the actual productivity in the year comes from the end of the year because there's like a drive towards hurrying up and like finishing off goals, et cetera, et cetera. So, anyways, the concept is that you can get more done in like focusing on a few goals for 3 months than you probably typically would get done in a year. So, anyways, I'm going to do 12-week year. I've done like this before, but I just feel like I'm slipping a little bit on some of my objectives for the year just because it's been so many things going on. Um, I expected it to be busy this year. Like, I did, but I didn't expect to be, I don't know what I expected. I didn't expect it to be like, I don't know. It's so many things I'm doing right now that this time last year not even a thought was like implanted into my head. So that's a good thing, but the main issue I'm having is that there's certain other goals that I set that kind of have fallen off or gotten put on the back burner. And these are, I think to me, I feel like it's more my longer term goals that have not been getting as much attention, like at least for the last like 6 months. Excuse me. So, yeah, I just feel like for me personally, it'll be good. I'm gonna do a 12-week year. I'm not making up any new goals. Like I already set my goals at the beginning of the year, um, or on the I set my goals on at the end of last year. But I need to go back and remind myself what I'm supposed to be doing. Uh, so, and then it's also fair. Like it could be some things that I said I was gonna do that's no longer priority, and that's totally fine. Like if it's something that I don't I feel like it's not important anymore, or it has fallen down the list, then that's totally fair. But I just want to be conscious because I don't know. To me, sometimes I'm like an out of sight, out of mind type of person. So if I don't see, I don't know if I have some. Yeah, sometimes it's like if I don't see something, I'll completely forget about it. Um, and this happens like across the board. Even I can use clothes as an example. I can completely forget that I own a whole like item, article of clothing. It could be my favorite thing to wear, and I can completely forget about it because I don't see it. Until you go and dig it back up, and you're like, dang, I forgot about this. And sometimes my brain works like that with projects too. So I don't know. And then I keep saying, like, this year, every quarter has felt like its own year. So this year, I feel like more than ever, things fell through the cracks because when I was like going back and looking at my YouTube videos and stuff from earlier this year, I'm like, whoa, I can't remember. Like it's so many things I worked on this year. I haven't even thought about. Um, it's probably some stuff I was doing in January that I don't know. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent, but I just feel like that will help me stay focused. I'm going to get into the 12-week year, and then I just like structured plans, like That way I know exactly what I'm supposed to be focused on. And I have been working on my schedule. I talked about working on my schedule anyway. So I've been working on that, and that I think is coming along, but I definitely need to implement it. So yeah, that's kind of what's on my mind for today. Um, and then the Lions are playing today. So I need to like get my work done. Um, so I could chill out for the evening. So let's do this. I'm gonna jump into Hacktoberfest stuff, and I just wish like the only thing I don't like about the restream chat. Let me see if I can fix this because I don't like this. The restream chat always like has the little like message that says like, "Hey, the chat is ready," and it also shows like um it shows bot yeah, it shows bot messages. I don't like that. Yet another thing that we need to work on the stream, but it's all good. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of notifications. Focus, 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 focus. All right, I got this last little bit of G Fuel too. This is all I'm having. I have I had like 3 scoops today, so this is it. Well, not well. This will be like the end of the third scoop. Doo, doo, doo. Even today, like it feels like it's Wednesday. Like I feel like I woke up on a Monday. I woke up on a Monday and I ended up on Wednesday. Free to hang out until 6 sounds good. Welcome in. I'm just gonna probably spend like an hour if that. But I know I need to get this done, and I was like, if I don't sit down and do it now, I don't think I would have skipped the stream just because these are two specific things that I know I wanted to get done today. So I would have just ended up going and taking a nap and then getting mad at myself because I had to get back out the bed in order to come and like finish stuff up. So I'm like, yeah, let me just do myself a favor. But I wanted to see really, 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 really quick. Like, can I on restream? Let me see if I can I want to see if I can like get these bots out of the get the bots out of the chat stream. Granted, I know some of the chats are like good to have because sometimes I accidentally type as the restream bot. I don't like the I don't like the generic messages. So what if I like yeah, that's just me. Um Where's the hold on, let me see. I might as well like kind of sort of share my screen. Some people that are into streaming have been asking me about like my multi-streaming setup. Let me see. What am I trying to do? Oh wait, I can do. Oh no, it's on this side. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see what this looks like. uh, yeah, it's down there. Okay, I can. Let me see. All right, so I'm using Restream. Right now I'm just using the free version of Restream as well. So I have destinations. I have YouTube and Twitch for this channel in particular on this account. Um I mean, I can't really complain, and I'm doing this because it's more effective for me. Like my computer was not running 2 streams like successfully, and I I'm trying to run my live stream directly from my MacBook. Like I really hate using PC. Like I hate it. So I'm at a point where like if I don't need to use my PC, I shouldn't say PC, but it's really like Windows OS. It just I can't stand it. Um and so Yeah, so when I was trying to stream, like maybe if I was doing it from my PC, it would have worked fine. But from my MacBook, I was not like successfully running my two streams, for whatever reason, and I just decided to use Restream. Restream is working really, really well for me right now. Uh, why is it complaining about the bitrate? Anyways, yeah, so it's pretty simple to set up, and I'm using this. Before I was using Streamlabs OBS, which if you don't know what that is, sometimes we call it slobs, which is like a weird awkward name, but that's Streamlabs OBS. That's what that stands for. um so I was using Streamlabs actual like OBS, their version of OBS, and that worked really well for me. And then but then I was paying them for whatever this is, the Ultra. Yeah, I was paying for Ultra. It didn't load the style sheet. Okay, I was paying for Ultra, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'm trying to cut unnecessary costs because I feel like I just be paying for. I feel like subscriptions just pile up. So this is a really good. I'm like, don't get me wrong. This is a really good. They have some really good features. I just wanted to see if I can kind of pare it down. And then another reason why I stopped using this is because um the main reason I was paying for Ultra was to multi-stream. In Streamlabs OBS, then I could just choose whichever scenes I want to go, whichever sources I want to go live to, and then I could just go live to all of them at the same time. But now that I'm using regular OBS, yeah, I had to find another way to multi-stream. So yeah, you can do like multi. There's like a multi RTMP. There's a multi RTMP plugin for OBS that works for some people. It just wasn't working for me. So this is where we are in the process now. Let me see some. Oh, okay. I was about to say I cannot see my mic, and I thought I was talking to myself. But anyways, so yeah, though I highly recommend Streamlabs if you don't have like a lot of experience with the broadcasting software, and also just if you want ease of use. It's 10 out of 10 recommend. Excuse me, I still may go back to it. I'm at a point right now where I'm trying to remember why I switched to OBS in the first place. I'm not gonna lie, because I was happy where I was, but probably to see if I can get away with not having to pay for that service. But anyways, Restream is working out well. Somebody was asking me about like the tiers because I have the free version of this that I've been running, and it works fine for me. They watermark it, and that's about it. Um, Now I'll probably update when I want to start embedding my stream because I do want my stream to live um on my website, but I'm not there yet. So when you are working on here, oh, 5/14 is my birthday. Let me see. If you are working on here, I'm still trying to remember. I think I have to go into this. I have to go into this actual event. How do I get to this page? I'm still trying to figure this out. Go here? No. Go back to the main page. Oh, I can't click on it. It's not analytics. I feel like I did this last time. Just clicking around trying to figure stuff out. Okay, thank you. Embed. I feel slow. Okay, wait. How did I get there last time then? If I click analytics, what happens? Literally nothing. Oh yeah, I need to be looking at these though, but that's not what I'm looking for. Um, all right, cause I just gotta be like, my brain can't be working right. No, it can absolutely be the software. I thought like I can this is dumb. I don't really. Why is this not? intuitive to me. I can't be this slow. Okay. Perhaps I can be this. All right. In like 30 seconds, I am quitting out of this activity and going back to what I was trying to do because I'm not sure why I can't get to the page. I know I had this problem last time. Schedule, upload, record. Oh wait. Do I have to go from here? Yeah, okay. Since it took that long. Okay. These are the chat. This is the chat. So um Restream does have the ability for you to see like a combined chat, which is a nice feature to have. Um but the issue I have is like I don't like the bot being in my filtering. Hide comment chat bots. Yeah. Okay. So if I leave it like this, I think it saves automatically. One thing you can tell I like to do is live stream because I will learn how to use my tools when it comes to live streaming, but I cannot stand editing. Like I feel like if I put as much like half as much effort into editing videos as I do into live streaming, I would make some really I would have made some really good progress by now, but eh. Let me see. I just want to see. Okay. So if I refresh this, then what? Um, I don't know if it's gonna get rid of the restream bot though. I wonder. Let me see. Okay. Let's try this because I think that's still showing. Filter chatter name. What's it called? Restream. I might not be able to mute the restream bot. I don't think that's gonna work. Oh well, whatever. All right, that was like a 10-minute rabbit hole for probably nothing. This is why I need to be working on my streamer tools because I want to build my own here, let me get off of here. I want to build my own like integrated Twitch chat. I mean, not integrated Twitch chat, but integrated stream chat. Because the thing about Twitch chat versus YouTube chat, like no, a lot of people don't know this. I know this because I'm a nerd, and I was actually looking into this earlier this year. But Twitch has like a one chat stream. Like on your page, you have one long like open chat. It's a chat room. It's always there. It's always live. So you actually can use the chat room even when you can use the chat room even when the stream is offline. But on YouTube it's different. When you don't you get a chat, you get a chat by having a actual YouTube event, live event. So your live event has to exist first, and then you can have a chat. So every chat, like when you go into a YouTube live, every chat belongs to that specific live stream, and that's it. At the end of the stream, it's gone. So those are two completely different mechanisms. So whenever you have to integrate with the chat on Twitch, it's just one open connection that you have to it's just one connection that you have to keep, one connection point. When you have to do it on YouTube, you have to do it for every single time the person goes live. You have to wait until they go live, and then you can connect to the chat. So yeah, nerdy rant aside, this is why a lot of like if you try to do multi-streaming, that's why a lot of streaming tools don't have the best integration between like YouTube and Twitch, like bringing those together. That is a problem I would like to solve, but that's why we're going to work on the 12-week year, because maybe I should have been working on that project this year. It's I was working on the bot earlier this year and I have not gotten back to it. So anyways, let's start with, let me see, is this the one I'm supposed to have this window over here? Hold on. Let me get rid of all the everything. We're going to go to, see. All right, so let's do Hacktoberfest. And then I'm gonna go on the 12-week year site because they should have like some, yeah, like they have resources and they have some sample plans and stuff. I feel like they should have something basic. Wait, or let's do this real quick. Resources. Sometimes it's hard to find. Oh, here we go. They got sample plans. Weekly success tips. How long is this intro? I already have access to this. I just wanted to be like, that's so funny. I worked on this site a long time ago, and I didn't know what the 12-week year was at the time. I wasn't familiar with the book or anything. This was like in my first like full-time software job. We have I just remember working on this platform. I don't know what it looks like now, but it was basically let me see if I can like make an account. Let's do this. It was basically um here, let's see. They, since there's like a specific plan that you follow, a certain way that you structure out like your goals, and track your goals during the 12-week year. That is what the site was, or that's what the web application was for that I was working on at the time. It was basically you could sign in and manage your different goals for each of your like 12-week year time windows. Let's see, two, two. Obviously not trying to put all my business on the internet. Okay. Um, this may or may not have been an existing account, but anyways, so they got some sample plans. Let me see. Oh, let me see how long these videos are. The system. I mean, I'm like very familiar with this, but if it's gonna be like, I'm not about to go through. That's 8 minutes, and I gotta complete a lesson to go to a lesson. That's another 10. This is 15. So I'm gonna do that. I'll probably watch this one on like 2x speed. Can I adjust the speed? I think I can. Yeah, I'm watching on like 2x. Um, yeah, okay, perfect. That'll give me something to remember as well. All right, so let's get started with Hacktoberfest. So let me see. You can go to hacktoberfest.com. Hacktoberfest is it's basically like a open source. Here I don't even want like the music right now. Hold on. How do I? Where are you? Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, Hacktoberfest is basically like a month long. It's like a hackathon. It's online. It's virtual, whatever. So you can participate pretty much from anywhere as long as you have internet connection. And this is really designed to just get people like participating in and supporting open source projects by making contributions. So if you're not familiar with the idea of like open source software, most of us as software engineers, developers, whatever, we use a lot of open source tools. So basically, we have GitHub, which is like something I spend a lot of time on. Obviously, I have all my different repositories here. Most of them are public. Pretty much all my repositories are public, and that allows other people to kind of see. People can fork them, which is making their own copies. And then, depending on the licenses for the different repositories as well, there's different levels to which people can actually reuse my code or whatever I have stored in my repositories. So that's just something I do personally, obviously. But a lot of the tools that we use commonly in software now, like a lot of our programming languages, for example, um, are all like open source. So let me see, like even the template that I was using for my slides. So we've been working on the world. We've been working on the slides for the free code camp boot camp. And this is a slide deck that is built in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So all of my slides will be are basically maintained in code, and these work. I've just used arrow keys to navigate through them. It's a really nice, like, convenient framework. I've used this for a lot of different projects, but it was freely available to me. The code is open source for it. It's called Reveal.js, and one of the big things about open source software is more so just the idea that I mean, usually people are building this. A lot of times people are building it for free. They're not actually getting anything out of it except, really caring about the project and wanting to move it forward. So there's a lot of projects that could use more help. They can always use contributors and things like that. And especially if you are somebody that's using open source tools a lot, it can just be, nice to take some time and contribute back to the projects that have, or contribute back for the teams that have been supporting your work throughout the year as well. So I want to say, like, I don't know. I think when I first got started in tech, way back in like 2014, I remember one of the first like tech conferences I went to after I was trying to transition into being a software engineer. It was a local conference. It was called Self Conf. I remember I saw this talk from a lady. She actually had this project, which I'm pretty sure is still around, called exorcism.io. And exorcism is basically like a platform where you can come and practice different programming languages. And at the time, it was just really designed to say, hey, if you like wanted to try out in any almost any language that you could possibly want to learn, you could come on here and you can do challenges. So she was talking about how, getting started in tech, like you can get some of your first experience by contributing to open source. um, I drank the tea. I sipped the Kool-Aid or whichever one it is. And I remember I did like my first open source contribution to the Exorcism project. So I don't even know. I didn't really prepare to like find it, but um yeah, way back in like probably 2015 ish. I don't know when's the first time I did Hacktober that I did Hacktoberfest, but my first time contributing to the project was Exorcism, and I remember like I was struggling only because Exorcism, like, the team itself was really supportive, but I was new to the whole like open source. I was new to open source contributions. I was new to like working on or contributing to somebody else's project like through Git and GitHub. So I wasn't able to like go through that process successfully by myself. But luckily, let's see if I could find the right one. But yeah, I wasn't able to go through that process by myself completely. But luckily, the team that supports the repository, the contributors, they had folks that were able to help me out and talk me through like steps of the process that I had never done before. And that was awesome. And I think like that makes a big difference in whether or not you feel comfortable to get into open source contributions. So there's, it's different levels to it because you have the first layer of like knowing whatever programming language or whatever yeah, pretty much whatever programming language or tech stack they're using in their project. And then you still also have the version control side of it. So being comfortable to go through and like usually you have to fork the repository, you have to make a branch, you have to know how to like merge branches and do some more advanced techniques that you may not have had to do if you just been working on GitHub, or if you just been working on Git repositories by yourself, you wouldn't have had to go through a lot of those steps yet. So I don't know. I think I like that this comes around every year. And I always get excited about it. Do I always meet my goal of contributions? I don't, but I do always make an effort. I think that's most important. And that's what the whole challenge is about, anyways. You can come here on their website, you can read about the different ways that you can get involved in Hacktoberfest and what they recommend. But I think the most important thing is like, it's not about a quantity thing, it's about a quality thing. So they do have some like participation goals usually, but it's all about supporting the project at the end of the day and learning a new skill, practicing the skill. If this is something that's new for you, that's always good. So you can go to hacktoberfest.com. The other site that I was talking about is just called exorcism.org, but that's unrelated. So yeah, hacktoberfest.com. On here, this is where you can get any information that you possibly want for how to participate. So this project itself, as far as I can tell, is still run by DigitalOcean. It's this year is sponsored by DigitalOcean, Cloudflare, and Quira. I'm not sure what that company is, but DigitalOcean has been sponsoring this or hosting this for quite a few years now. Oh, it started in 2014. Um, So yeah, there's a lot, like people can basically share different events that they have going on for Hacktoberfest. So they might have like different hackathons or smaller events to help you learn about different aspects of open source, and those are just like all community driven. So you can come here and find more information that way. Um Okay. I was just reading that. So I'm going to let's look at participation actually. Okay. So everyone is welcome. Quantity is fun, quality is key. Like I said, it's not because like in some years it has definitely been like people just trying to spam contributions, spam commits, spam pull requests just for the sake of getting some type of credit. And it's it's not about that. And also nowadays, like if you are spamming, you'll get you'll get deactivated from like participating. Um Let me see. Okay, so registration goes. You can register all the way to the very last day. So it doesn't matter what day of the month it is, as long as we're still in October, you can pretty much still participate in Hacktoberfest. You have to make your pull or merge request on GitHub or GitLab. Um, on GitHub, they have this Hacktoberfest topic. So if I go back to GitHub, I was trying to see. Hold on. I'm like, I really want to see where that repo is. This is when I joined GitHub. Wow. Mm, 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 mm. All right, I'm going to. Okay, so I'm not going to keep searching for it. But here on GitHub, I can search. Let me get rid of the owner part. Search Hacktoberfest. And here's the topic right here on the right hand side. So if I view the topic, this is like the main info page on GitHub for um, the Hacktoberfest. So basically different repositories, different organizations, I should say, will be able to tag their repositories if they want to encourage people to participate for Hacktoberfest. So for me, like the main repository I would like to contribute to is Free Code Camp, and I have some side stuff to talk about for Free Code Camp because they just released like a really nice updated guide for open source contributors, which is really sweet. I just saw it on LinkedIn the other day. Probably like not even it wasn't the same day that we were talking about Hacktoberfest, but it was probably like the day after. Um so yeah, you basically can come here on if you're on GitHub and you can look through the different repositories that have tagged themselves um for Hacktoberfest. Now, you have to submit PR, a pull request. I guess it's probably called a merge request on GitLab, but on GitHub it's called a pull request. And part of your participation, I think, is that your pull request has to actually be accepted. So your goal is to get 4 high quality pull requests between the 1st and the 31st of this month. The main thing that allows a pull request to count is that the um, the uh, the contributor or the maintainers actually have to accept your PR. So you can't just have like it's not about the just opening a bunch of PRs. If the maintainer doesn't accept your PR, then it doesn't count. Um, and I will get into some other sites that have other information. Hogwarts Dragon. I will cover that too because there's multiple places that you can look um, to find pull requests for Hacktoberfest. But not all of the, for the record, just so y'all can know too, because Hacktoberfest has been going every single year since 2014. Um, Not all of the resources that are up to date all the time. So just keep that in mind. So even using GitHub as an example, since I use GitHub, I would find my opportunities to contribute on GitHub. But just because I'm like scrolling through here, right? Just because I see somebody tag their repo with Hacktoberfest, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a recent tag. It could have been here since 2014, well, however long it's been since we had topics. So it could be from last year, it could be from the year before. So so that's just one layer into trying to find a project. And they have some recommendations on the site, but I'll go through those. I'll come back to those after I sign up and finish looking through the startup information. But excuse me. The overall goal is or the reward, quote unquote, is the badge. So let me see. I don't know if I got a badge last year. I think they used like the badges. Let me see. I think they used these like hollow pin badges, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure they used the hollow pin badges. Oh, I got an app right, a Hacktoberfest app right badge from last year. So I think these are the ones that they're going to use. That's what they did last year anyway. And then they do have a Discord server, so if you want to, you can join the Discord server. I'm trying to see like, am I in their Discord? I might be. I probably am. It's like a high probability. But yeah, so you can join the Discord server. That's also obviously helpful. You can talk to other people, get to know folks. So yeah, back in the day, they used to have swag for Hacktoberfest. They don't do that anymore, and I mean, I think that's totally fine. But yeah, they don't. I think they don't even let us use like people. You technically should never be able to get at this point. I don't think you should be able to get any like official Hacktoberfest type of swag because at least last year I know there was we were not allowed to use their branding to like make items either. Why isn't there a t-shirt this year? um yeah. They I mean they've been saying that for multiple years, but for some people that knows like back in the day, that's why people used to be so incentivized to just like spam pull requests because it was like if you did four, then you got like a T-shirt or you got some swag sent to you or something like that. I wish I knew where my old Hacktoberfest shirts were, but R.I.P. It ruined my motivation when they decided not to do T-shirts anymore. I think that was a big issue actually, because people were more so motivated for the reward that Digital Ocean was giving as opposed to the purpose that Digital Ocean is trying to push forward is for people to become long-term contributors, like not just to do, not just to do Hacktoberfest, but to get involved in those projects throughout the year. So it's like it's a good incentive to have, but yeah, I think the idea of people doing it for that as opposed to people doing it for the like support of the different open source projects, I don't think that sits well with them. um I think they kind of talked about that. Yeah, they do they're doing halopin. So, okay. So what's next? Yeah, so participation is easy. You basically just have to submit your pull request or your merge request between October 1st and October 31st. Um, in order for your pull request or in order for your contribution to count, it has to be merged. The pull request has to be accepted. Um, and if you do four I think if you do the four contributions, then you will get the badge as well for this year. And that's like a hollow pin badge. Like hollow pin is kind of this is kind of popular now for like techie based like um, badges. Like if you go to different conferences and things like that, a lot of times they'll have hollow pins. So you can actually show off your hollow pins. I think you can have a profile on here, but like one of the nicer things is this is just like in my personal readme on GitHub, I have um I'm just linked to this is a link to my actual hollow pin board. So if I go into my account, I can move these around and pick which ones are displaying. All right, so let's see. Why is this boy yelling? Okay. I'm just trying to see some of the basic stuff. So that's participation. Yeah, they have a lot of good resources. We can do some workshops for this month. I will share a little bit more of those like in advance. But yeah, we can do some workshops for this month. Last year, like I said, last year I did like a bunch of workshops during October that was open source related. But we can always run that back. So if you never did an open source contribution before, or if you're like still getting used to working with Git and GitHub, if you never really had to submit a pull request, or if you never had to work from a fork, those are the types of workshops and materials that I did last year. In addition to just like some intro, we did some intro Git and GitHub as well. My neighbor's speaker is so loud. Okay, let me see. Okay, so they got a couple options. So for me on GitHub, there is this is the topic, the Hacktoberfest topic. This is upforgrabs.net, and then good first issues. And what is this project? Somebody built this. I think this is the branding from last year. Yeah, I wonder if somebody did this built this last year. But this one you can go by language, and you have a bunch of different options. Oh, the Ghost CMS is on here. Y'all know I've been doing some stuff with Ghost, but not as much as I would like to. I abandoned my Ghost site. Well, I have Ghost on some other stuff, but I abandoned my other Ghost site. So, anyways, yeah. So you can go through like I said, go through the topic on Hacktoberfest, go through the topic on GitHub or upforgrabs.net. I'm not sure how recent this is. They're doing like, well, that's a bot. Let me see. Let me see these commits. Is this okay? So yeah, I'm not sure like exactly how up to date the up for grabs is, but that's just another spot. And then lastly, like I said, you can go to this um good first issues. So once you decide like, okay, I want to participate, how do I find a project? I'll give you an example. If I go to participating Hacktoberfest project, so this is the topic on GitHub, I can scroll through here and find something that, looks interesting to me. I think that a bunch of these up top are happen to be repositories I've interacted with before. So I wonder, I don't know, maybe there's something to that. But then I could say, okay, you know what? I'm interested in working on Free Code Camp. So this is the organization on the left. This is the actual repository on the right. So just so you know, if I click here, it's going to take me to Free Code Camp GitHub page. If I click here, it's going to take me to the actual repository. So I'm going in here. Um, and whenever you go to any like open source project, I mean, it's just run by people. It's just, built by people. So it's not necessarily the case that everybody has it set up the exact same way. Free Code Camp is like top tier though. They just released like a really fancy um, contributor guide. So they are above average on this. That's why I'm going to use them as an example because I know that they have it very, very, very plain and clear exactly how to contribute. So that's the main thing when you pick a project, you have to figure out like what is their process that they want to have you go through in order to contribute a either a change or an update back to their repository. In this case, on for Free Code Camp, they're really convenient. They just put like they pinned an actual guide up here, so we're going to jump into there. But if not, another thing you can do is usually you can look at the labels on um, the issues. And sometimes you will find issues that actually have a Hacktoberfest label. And then sometimes you might find issues that actually say like a good first issue. Or first, see, they got a first timers only. And let me see. They probably, that might be their, yeah, that might be their version of like the good first issue. So, yeah, issues, we typically come to the issues because traditionally this is where we would actually be tracking any like either feature requests that we are looking for somebody to work on, or this is where the bugs are logged. And especially it can be helpful during for open source contributions for people to work on bugs and issues that they find in the system. So in this case, you see there's obviously plenty of bugs here as far as the list of issues, but they have good tags. So like this is the first timers only. So this is like the type of thing where it's like if you never worked on the free code camp platform before, then it'll help you not only it'll so not only will you be making your contribution obviously, but this should be a good issue for somebody who's never contributed on their project. So there's going to be certain amounts of work that you have to do locally, on your computer to get the project up and running, in order for your like local dev environment to run the project in whatever way is necessary. Sometimes you have to pass test suites. You might have a code base that actually has a test suite in it, and you have to participate in the same process that everybody else does. So you might have to get a test suite up and running. You might have to get local servers up and running, things like that. So um, I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little long winded with it, but when it comes to first timers only, or like good first issues, a lot of times those are less complicated. They might be a less complicated request just to make it friendly for a first timer on the project. So, highly recommend that you would be going to look for tags like first timers only, good first issue, Hacktoberfest tags in particular as well. And then you can notice here like they have help wanted tags. So I'm assuming that the tags that say help wanted, that nobody has claimed those issues yet. Now you can see here they got a bunch of issues that they tagged for Hacktoberfest in particular. So and it looks like none of these are being worked on yet. I'm just going to assume because they all have one single comment that they probably aren't being worked on yet. Um, yeah, it's just the contributor who set everything up, or the maintainer who set everything up. So you can come in once you find like an issue that looks like something that you can work on. Then you want to come and actually look at the issue. Like in this case, I'm just doing everything through GitHub because that's what I'm familiar with. But when it comes to being on GitHub, um looking through the issue, they should have a very good description to you of what they're asking for. If it's a bug, they should be telling you exactly how to reproduce it and things like that, what the issues are. In this case, it is for in a like in addition to something that they already have. They have a bunch of quizzes that they're letting people work on for this Hacktoberfest go around. So this is just one of the quizzes that they need. And then usually what you would do here is have some type of conversation with the maintainer. Um, you have to claim you want to claim an issue if you're going to work on it, and you don't want to work on the issue that somebody already claimed. Like if you come in here, like let's go back. Um, I'm gonna do this one as an example because it's a lot of activity on here. There's a lot of conversation, and I saw multiple merges. Um, okay. So just to show like, okay, they have the issue. Somebody logged the issue, and then somebody came in and said that they wanted to contribute. It's multiple people, chiming in. And then you'll start to see whenever somebody actually, like if a code review is going on, you should be able to see that. And once an issue is resolved and merged and everything like that, like you will see all of that as a part of this conversation here. So yeah, it's important to come in, get some context for whatever the issue is that you plan on working on. Make sure it's something that you feel comfortable with, and make sure again that it's not somebody else that's already working on it. Okay, so I want to go through one more example. I'm going to blindly pick another repository and just see. I kind of knew what, oh, let's go through this really quick and then I'll go to another repository. So, Free Code Camp did this nice thing. We saw this the other day, but they did this nice thing where they actually created an issue that has they have an issue in here. It has all the information you need in order to participate for Hacktoberfest this year in particular. So this is something that they specifically wrote this year for this year's contributions. And then they actually talked about those quizzes, like I mentioned. These are the quizzes. They have a bunch of quizzes that they need, like, kind of developed. So they actually went ahead and structured everything out in advance. So this is where you actually can get all the information for those particular issues, where it tells you exactly where the files should live, how they should be structured, um, and then it gives you links to where you need to go next in order to set up the project. So, highly encourage you to kind of take a look at that. If you are interested, Free Code Camp is awesome. Of course, I love them. But yeah, let's go through one more because I do want to go through one kind of blindly. Because, like I said, not everybody does this the same. So, let's do Z Shell. Let me see what Z Shell has going on. Um, yeah, because they're always actively developing. Okay, so this is a completely different repository. They did also obviously have themselves tagged for Hacktoberfest. Um, so in this case, I mean, I'm just looking at either, go through and look at their tags, like I mentioned, see if there's anything that looks like interesting as far as the tags. If not, then like here's a good first issue tag, even though this is like opened in 2023. It does have Hacktoberfest tagged on it. I just wonder if this was tagged last year. Uh, uh, uh. Yeah, it was tagged in October. Okay, so maybe this was resolved with this other issue. So yeah, you kind of need to like go and look through. Like if you are very particular about a specific project you want to work on, then you should go and look through and just be diligent with the information you're looking into. Like another example, see, this is from 2022, so that's what I was saying before. Just because it has an active Hacktoberfest like tag on it, that doesn't necessarily mean it's up to date, so just keep that in mind. So anywho, another thing to look for whenever you go into um a repository for, especially if you want to actually contribute, then you should go look for their contribution guidelines. There's different places that people put them. So like in this case, you can see they have contributing guidelines here. This contributing.md, it's a markdown file. Contributing.md, they have that in their base repository for the project, I want to say. So you can also sometimes on the main page here, just check and see if they have, besides their regular readme, they could have something like contributing. They also have a code of conduct in here. So this is another place you can possibly look for um, the instructions on how to get the project set up and what is the workflow you have to go through in order to contribute or basically submit a pull request to their project. So in this case, they tell you exactly what to do if you have to report an issue. They tell you how to submit PRs. Um, you have to fork and you have to create PRs with a dedicated branch, right? So they give you very specific details. as to how that needs to be handled. So every project is going to have their own preferences. There's like kind of a few categories that we typically end up in, like a few different types of workflows that you end up um, kind of choosing, picking and choosing from. But for the most part, they should be telling you exactly how that process should go. So let me see. I'm gonna close some of these. Um, yeah, I can close much of that. All right. So last but not and then I want to say they do also have a lot of resources, like educational resources. So there's different articles. Some of these are from GitHub, some are from GitLab, and some are actually, they might come from um the not Discord, Digital Ocean website or something like that. Let's see. So this is more information about the validations. Obviously, I'm not gonna say obviously, but typically during, like, with something like Hacktoberfest, um in order to actually track everything, it's an automated process, right? So they use tags and different things like that in order to manage the process. So definitely make sure that you're not spamming, because if you get marked as spam, then you will be disqualified. Um, so yeah, your PR out of bounds. So it must be within bounds. So within bounds is October 1st through October 31st. This is in any time zone. So this is based on your time zone. Um, your PRs must be made to a public and unarchived repository. And then pull requests that are created after October 1st but merged or marked as ready for review after do not count. Oh, created before but merged. Yeah, if you so you have to do everything within the 1st to 31st. That's basically what's going on here, and it has to be in a public unarchived repository. If the repository is if it doesn't meet excuse me, if it doesn't meet the community guidelines for Hacktoberfest, then they're most likely not going to honor that those contributions. And then you don't want to spam. So just make sure that you are, being considerate of the maintainers. Hopefully, people wouldn't be going out of their way to like harass them or anything like that. But um, you have to give them time to do their part of the process. So PRs that are labeled with the word spam by maintainers will not be counted. Um, if they also have the accepted label, it cannot also be marked as spam. If they have been merged and don't have a label containing the word invalid, they cannot be marked as spam. So that's a little bit more for the maintainers themselves, because they will be actually labeling the PRs. Um, so your PR, and just how you will know that it's going to be counted, it has to be in a repo that's tagged with Hacktoberfest, or it has to have the Hacktoberfest accepted label on the PR. And then you don't want your PR to be marked as invalid. Okay. Now, this is more information. So if you like actually maintain a project, and you want to know like how to get involved for Hacktoberfest, you can go through and look at the information here. Maybe I'll do this like tomorrow. I'll look at the repository that we've been working on, and open up some issues that people can contribute to. And then, of course, they just like encourage, like, just want the community to understand, it's not all about like how many lines of code you can write and things like that. There's a bunch of different types of ways that you can contribute to when it comes to Hacktoberfest. So I think in low code and non code contributions, documentation, blogs, even me doing this live stream right now, I think they technically would consider this to be like a non code contribution. So just any way that is actually highlighting the work that's being done for Hacktoberfest, and is further educating the community, I think is pretty much fair game as far as, you know, if you want to just get involved and tell people about um, what's going on throughout the month of October for Hacktoberfest. Documentation and blogs are underrated for people to aid them. Yeah, I mean, right. So I'm going through this process right now. I'm obviously doing this on the live stream, but I do plan on like making sure that this portion of the stream is on my channel. So like if people want to start on Hacktoberfest, they have, you know, it's just another resource. It's always good to have to give people more resources. And then a lot of times the documentation, the technical documentation actually lives in the repository. So um, that one is a little bit like a little bit of a middle ground, especially if you are a little bit more hesitant about completely jumping in to a full like tech stack and trying to do that. Um, writing some like refining some part of the documentation for a repository is always like super helpful. Some repositories are not like very well documented at all, like a lot of them aren't. So yeah. Oh, it says if you're submitting low or non-code content to projects, make sure to create a PR to track your contribution. Okay, so that's interesting. I don't think they talked about that last year. Um, but that's helpful to know. So I'm going to look a little bit, dig a little bit deeper on that. Last year, I think it was more so like, hey, we encourage you to participate in these other ways. But this time they're like, create a pull request for that. Um, okay. So I think I talked about this already, but you get like a digital badge for participating. So those are the hollow pins. Um, now I I do know that I think Appright is having a they're having a hackathon, and they actually have some prizes, you know. So just throwing that out there. I knew about this one already because I have like I got the email. I got the email from this blog right here. Um earlier this when did I get it? Today or yesterday? Oh, I guess I got it a few days ago. No, I think I saw it recently. It doesn't matter when I got it, but I basically got this content sent to me in an email through Appright. So if you are like a little bit more interested in like, hey, doing something with some stakes and some prizes and things like that, you can definitely do that. These are specific, like specifically Appright prizes though. So just throwing that out there. Let me see. Do multiple pull requests to the same repository account. Yep, each PR is separate. All right, so I'm not gonna go through all of these. Um, but there's plenty of info here. So maintainers are the folks that have a repository that are allowing people to contribute. Troubleshooting is obviously for the most part that's just kind of for anybody. Then you got events. So events are some people might be doing events in person. A lot of people are hosting like events online, some type of virtual events. So if you are doing events, they have a lot of information for you. They have like last year I know they had like not media kits but they had like full branding guides. They had slides, they had everything kind of set up so you can do your event with the Hacktoberfest branding and everything. You're just not allowed to create merch with their branding. Alrighty. So now, last but not least, let's go. I'm about to sign up. So I'm gonna go start hacking. I'm authorizing with Git. Wait, am I signed in to GitHub on this browser? It'll be better. Okay, perfect. That's so funny. I just asked that and I got like 13 different tabs open. Okay. It's okay. Um, so I'm gonna authorize with GitHub because obviously I use GitHub and they should be able to grab the information that I need. Um, you can be a newbie. I'm new to Hacktoberfest and contributing to open source. You could be familiar. I'm familiar with how to contribute to open source and Hacktoberfest, or you can be experienced. I'm experienced with contributing to open source and Hacktoberfest. So I am experienced. So I'm going to go with that. Although these are optional questions that they're asking, I think it just kind of helps them get a sense of who's who and what the makeup is of those participating. For me, how would you like to contribute? I would like to make code and non code contributions because, and I am not currently enrolled as a student. And then they have which of the following best describes your role at your primary employment, your country, marketing stuff, and then rules. Okay. So I acknowledge the resources provided and understand the values and the rules. I acknowledge that I will be disqualified indefinitely from Hacktoberfest if I submit two or more pull requests that are identified as spammy. I acknowledge the resources provided. Oh, I acknowledge the resources provided to understand how to participate with quality contributions. And then by registering for Hacktoberfest, I understand and accept the Digital Ocean Terms of Service and other applicable policies. Okay, so that is all the things. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all already email me all the time. That's okay. I think I get Digital Ocean. Wait, what is all right, let me just stay focused. I gotta look up what this other company is though. So yeah, we basically once you sign in with whichever account, they're going to grab the information that they need. On GitHub, we can have multiple email addresses attached to it, so I can pick the right email address that I want to use in that case. So yeah, I'm going as experienced code and non-code. Not currently a student. Job role, they have like I'm just going to call myself. I don't know. I have like multiple. I'm always under like multiple categories. That's totally fine though. It's not like a huge deal. We're just gonna say full stack and move forward. And we can let them know that we are in the U.S. Let me see. United States of America. America. All right. I'll respond. Okay. So yeah. All right. So we got everything we need here. Perfect. Oh, I gotta acknowledge all the things. So yeah, they give you these are the participation got rules and these are the like how to do quality contributions. All right. So I'm gonna register now. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, but you do need to make sure that the process goes through because all of this is automated. It's all automated. So just make sure the process goes through for yourself. Um uh-oh, you haven't made oh, this is never mind. Okay. Yeah, so this is my tracker. So now they upload every 15 minutes while you're on the page and they upload every 6 hours in the background. So, um they'll update this progress every 6 hours, but if you're actively on this page, it updates every 15 minutes. So, this is your profile. So, once you come back to Hacktoberfest, and you're on your own profile, then you will be able to see the progress that you've made so far. All right, so that was simple. Trying to think of what else is interesting about Hacktoberfest. Did we not? Did we talk about everything? I'll show y'all this hollow pen real quick. Hollow pens, like I said, hollow pens are really common if you haven't been to like a hackathon in a long time. Um, Everybody uses like these now. So, and it looks, see, you can see people getting the registered badge um for Hacktoberfest. So let me see. Let me check my email real quick. What is this? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Hold on. All right, let me not get distracted. Oh, finally. Huh. Look, see the wait. God, you be working. Okay. All right. So I just want to check my email real quick. I already got a badge. I got my badge. You can see this here. I got my Hacktoberfest badge, and then I think this is my registration. Yeah, here's my registration for Hacktoberfest. But I got a badge, so let's go get the badge. Um, Claim it with GitHub. Dang it! What the heck? I just claim it with my email. No. Either way, I don't want to sign up. I want to sign in. Here, let me log in and then see if I can go back. Cause I already got an account. Log in. Auth- Authorize. Okay. So now, yeah, here's my badge. Yay! All right. And so, my avatar, is this my avatar? What can I change? Nothing. What's on his computer screen? How do I get? How do I unlock the other levels? Wait, do I unlock the levels from? Are these my contributions? Because you have to do 4 contributions. So I feel like that should be that, right? All right. So I want to do Hello World. Okay, and then I was mentioning that. Let me see. So if I go to my profile, this is my little board, and they literally have a tag that, like, they have a whole little tag you can copy and paste specifically for your GitHub readme. So this is for this you can put on your actual main profile, like I have mine. So if I go back onto my GitHub, I'm on my main profile, right? This readme here, inside of your, let's see, inside of your account, you need a repository. The repository has to have the exact same name as your username, right? So this is my account. This is the actual repository name. The repository name is Jessica because my username is Jessica. So when you just have a repository that has the same name as your username, you will also get this little, you'll have this little pop up here, so you know. And I think they notify you when you're making the repository, but this is a special repository. So the readme.md here, this is how you actually customize your GitHub profile. This is like relatively new, but I might do another workshop like showing this, but I haven't showed this. I haven't showed how to do this since last year. So, anyways, that was really smart of them. That was really nice of them, actually. They just made it easy to display your badges, the most likely place that you probably want to. For most of us, that is GitHub. And then if I go back into, let me see if I'm still signed in. Log me in. I was just gonna show you when I go to my profile. Okay, so this is what's on my badge on my board right now. And these are all the options I have. So now I have a new one right here. So I'm gonna put that one on here. Close. I can hit add, close that. And then, just have fun. Move your badges around. And whatever, however this is like terrible, but oh, this is I got a level 0 badge from last year. So yeah, the different customizations must be our contributions. I don't know. I'm just moving stuff around because I don't think they like mines look that great. But, anyways, whole point is I can just kind of leave it like this. And when I go back to my profile, I should be able to like get an updated version of my hollow pins. So now you can see my new little layout is showing. So, um, that's how that works. Anything else that's interesting? I don't know. But it's like 6:30. I really wasn't expecting to take like so long. I took like an hour and a half just to do nothing. But I hope this is helpful anyways. I do need to work on my 12-week year goals. I just feel like let's do this. I remember what I was gonna do. I was gonna go on Audible. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Let's see. All right, give me a second. Actually, can I open? Where's my messages? I'm scared. Oh, you know what? Just help my life by doing this. I just don't love the idea of like doxing myself, putting all my business on the interwebs. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do? Hold on. Give me a second. I just lost it. Oh, I got pictures, pictures. Ooh, I'm so glad I ate today, bro. I was like hungry. Get funded today instead of waiting. No. All right. What am I trying to do in my life? Um. Oh. All right, let's do the 12-week year. Let's do that. This braid is just really trying to live all out of order. All right, let's do the 12-week year and then we can. I'm gonna go and chill. It'll be time for me to put Justice to bed in a little while too. Let me see. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let me go open my. I'm gonna go on my Audible account first. Because okay, so I think I don't know if I have a physical copy of 12 week year around. I'm like 99% sure that I do have one in my Audible library though, at the very least. And so what I can do is, oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, so if you, for the record, because I don't know how many people know this, but when you have Audible in particular, because I only really use Audible, but when you have Audible, you can pretty much let me see. You can pretty much depend on what type of book it is, if they have like actual resources for you, like if they have like certain graphs and certain parts of the book that's important to see, usually they'll make you a PDF. Um, and you can actually go into your library and then you'll have like the option to view PDF if it's available. So something like the 12-week year, I'm like, yeah, I know they have like a PDF. Another example is this book, like Atomic Habits, I want to say probably um has one. It just depends. Like a lot of these do. My Atomic Habits is probably way back in the beginning somewhere, but like 5 week year, I mean 5 a.m. club has a document. So, anyways, this is the one for the 12-week year. So I just want to see. Uh, mm, I just use that cheese for my. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me focus. Sorry, y'all. I am definitely about to get off this computer. But let me see. Cantonese. Make this bigger. Okay, so I'm assuming. Yeah, so they got the goal statements. They got the model work week. Ooh, see, I knew I was gonna have to do this. I didn't think about the fact that they do have this as a part of the 12-week year, so that's perfect. Um, Let me see. Oh, here we go. So let's go. So they got the, the graphs that demonstrate what they're talking about. But then most importantly, so here's goals. So you shouldn't, I think you're not supposed to have more than like three goals or something like that. So in this case, they only have three goals. So one is improve my relationship with Carol. The other one is lose 10 pounds. The third one is to close $105,000 in a new business. So those are the three goals. So then for each goal, they break down the tactics that they need to accomplish. And the tactics are more so you can have a better way of actually tracking your progress. I think they call it like they talk about leading indicators and trailing indicators or something like that. So yeah, I mean this might be something that's obvious to certain people depending on how experienced you are with goal setting, but a lot of times people will set goals without actually giving themselves benchmarks. And then you wonder, like, oh, well, how come you didn't accomplish your goal? But sometimes you have to break it down into smaller. Most of the time, you have to break your goal down into smaller milestones. So that's pretty much what this is covering. Um, so this one is a little bit probably the most like detailed. So they have like, here's an example: call at least five prospects per week to schedule meetings and schedule a minimum of 3 meetings per week. So they're saying that's an action that they're going to do. And how often are you going to do it? They're going to do this each week. So each week they are tracking the specific tactics that they're going to be doing in order to work on closing this amount of that they want in new business. And then the first one, you can see they actually have a week one target, which was to figure out who were the top opportunities that were the most likely to close, right? So that's kind of them saying, okay, here, let me give myself a good idea of like who makes the most sense. Like what's the best group of people I can go after right now. That make obviously it's better to get somebody that's closer to closing than to try to get a bunch of fresh clients in, right? It's just an example, but so they're starting out week one, preparing themselves and knowing who they're going to go after. And then from there, they have like weekly tasks that they're going to do. And these weekly tasks are designed to help you stay on track as well. These weekly tasks, like something like this, these are also designed, they talk about it in the book, but these are also kind of designed like with the idea in mind that if you might not make, like, you might not get all 15 of these meetings every single week. But if you are hitting this goal most of the time, then by the like if you're hitting your different goals, your different tactics most of the time, then it should get you to closing on your or to completing your goal. And if you are not getting close to completing your goal, or if you are like completely missing all these targets most of the time, then obviously you're probably not going to hit your goal. Like it's just it is obvious to some people, but again, it's just a part of the framework. So in this case, for losing weight, which is another like straightforward thing for most people, um, so obviously you need the calorie deficit. So there's that. And then they have their workouts. They also have some other supporting things like drinking water, weight training, and joining the health club, which as you can see, that's a week one goal, right? Join the health club and then they can actually do their workouts and things like that, however they planned it. And then this is another one. So, 12-week year, if you do a 12-week year, like goal setting doesn't have to just be for your professional goals. You know what I mean? Like, when you have goals in your relationships, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a sibling, a friend, whatever, like being intentional goes a long way in relationships, y'all. Fun fact. So, yeah, in this case, they're just showing, I like that they showed that example too, because, um, like if you don't have kids, you probably don't understand, but when you got some kids, like that, your life can become that even, if you have like, if you live in the same household with somebody and y'all raising kids together, like a lot of times it'd be about the kids and then you got work and everything. So this is just a specific tactic for this person to say, you know what, every single week, I'm going to improve my relationship with this person by having a um, commitment to like having some one on one time. So that's something, keep in mind because we're all setting goals. I like to set goals across the board. But again, like I mentioned, for the 12-week year, is more so encouraging you to just focus on 1 to 3 goals and accomplishing those in a 12-week span. So this is the worksheet. So I'm probably not gonna do my goals on stream, but I can say for sure, one of the big goals would probably be to launch the tech program, launch a new tech program. That's going to be free code camp boot camp. But there are specific tactics that we can go through. So, for example, like one of the main things I need to do is to get the I need to get the application or like the sign up process set up, right? And there's other things that we've already been working through. I've already been working on slides and things like that, right? So I need to outline what all of my tactics are going to be in order to launch that project. And I do want to keep in mind that like for the boot camp in particular, it's not just the content, it's also the media that's surrounding it. So for example, um not just to make sure that I also set up the I think I set up the Twitch channel already. Make sure I set up the YouTube channel, branding and guides and some other stuff like that are kind of important to me as well. Secondly, honestly, probably has to be school related. Like um I need to focus. I need some type of school focused goal. I think some of the tactics that are going to be a part of that would be me establishing some regular study time. And I mean, there's some other things like that are like obviously like registration related, that kind of stuff. But I still think I would put like anything like like doing my machine learning studies. I would put that under here. At least like I want to do at least a certain number of hours per week studying. Um, that's important because I'm trying to find like what's gonna be the right balance for me, like time wise when I go back to school. So I do want to work on making sure I actually have study time built into my where is it ideal week as they have here. And what's so funny too is I'm pretty sure the last time I tried to do this, which was probably earlier this year, or definitely last year, I worked on some 12-week year rounds. I'm like 100% sure that I was like, but I can't fit my whole life into 12 hours. Like, what? I need to be up all night and all day to do everything that I want. RIP to unhealthy mindsets. Okay, so okay. Yeah, so then you want to track these like every week. Like in this case, these goals, these were the weekly goals. There was two goals or two tactics that were it was two tactics that were only for week 1. So for week 1, you would basically check off every single one of these, like which ones did you complete? And then moving forward after this, it would just be like week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, all the way through the week 12. You would just expect to check these off once a week. All right, so it's not really super crazy, nothing super complicated, and this is also another thing that can be helpful when it comes to actually figuring out where you are goal wise. Um, Depending on how you track your goals, like this is something I do probably once a year. Um, as long as I'm on my planning, because I can't lie, I be falling off sometimes. But most of the time, I look at like different categories of my life. This is like 7 categories, but like somewhere between 7 to 10 categories, just depending on how people break it down. And I depending on what I'm doing, a lot of times I'll end up like rating myself in the category like out of a 10, how do I feel like I'm doing? Like community, how do I feel like I'm doing? Like I would give myself like a 8 on community. I don't know. Honestly, I might have to give myself a 9.5 on community right now. The reason why I would say that is because live streams, Hacker House, conference, we about to run a boot camp online. Like I've been active in Discord. I've been active on my Instagram. Like I've really been working on, and this is like me reading community as like my personal community, or getting out and like and helping out in the community, supporting the community. I've been doing a lot of coaching, mentoring, stuff like that. So I feel like I'm doing really good on community. Um, the reason why this is helpful is because when you are sitting down to set goals, if you want to really think about like sometimes we don't think about where we actually are and how we feel about the different components of our life, and you know, so you could be accomplishing goals but you could still kind of like be in a space where you like not making progress in certain key areas, and then you wondering why, you know. That's what I was saying before, like it's not illegal to make goals about like relationships with people because ultimately like that's how we usually our goals are how we prioritize like how we spend our time. So like with me, you know, I have a son, obviously. I spend time with my son and it's important to me to spend time with my son. So I have to like be intentional about that though. I could very easily always be stuck in doing something and um yeah, yeah. I'm not I mean that's all I'm gonna say for that. But it's good to have these different categories, however you break the categories down, and to at least for me, I like to rate how I feel about each one like at least once a year. Because if you notice like, oh, that one category is really low, then maybe you actually want to work on that category in particular. Like maybe you really should set a goal for that. You know what I mean? Um, I could say kind of overall, like I feel pretty good about this wheel right here. So I wouldn't reset my goals just off of like my first general feel. But that's because I looked at something like this at the beginning of the year and I already had made certain goals towards like the areas that I felt like were lacking. Community was one, which is why we did 365 days of code. And I told y'all back at the beginning of the year, I wasn't like obviously every day I'm like doing coding related things as my whole life, but that's not really what the goal of 365 days of code was for me. For me, the goal was showing up live and getting to know people, spending more time in the community. Literally, like that was my actual goal for 365 days of code. So the number of people that I've been meeting throughout this year, just because I've been live dang near every single day, has made a big difference to me. Because I'm getting to know people one on one. And even a lot of us who have been, y'all, you know, y'all been riding with me for like a while, and I love y'all. I really do. Especially for this year. Like it's some people who was like we might have been casual, like you might have came in the stream. I know like we know each other like casually, but now by this time of the year we probably like talk regularly. Like you know, like me and Miss Signer, that's my bestie. And I feel like a lot of those relationships have been fostered due to the fact that I was very intentional about this coming into the year. So, I mean, it's good to look back on things and realize, like, okay, you're making progress. So that's why, even physical, right now, I literally just found out. I just figured out I lost 15 pounds. So, actually, it's probably closer to 20, but 15 is safe. So I was trying to, like at the beginning of the year, I was really upset with myself about like, I had gained a bunch of weight and I just was like, I'm not taking care of myself the way that I should. And I like that was just like okay we off that, so I just had to become more intentional. So at the beginning of the year I probably would have put myself at like a 2 on physical, how I felt, and now I can, you know, I can say like I'm doing way better than that. So that's like I said, that's why I think that these types of activities are helpful when trying to think like I said, most I'm not gonna say most, but I've seen this kind of breakdown done in other frameworks, other like goal setting books and things like that. So like usually there might be like up to 10 categories. You can kind of break the categories up in a way that makes sense to you. Like sometimes I have like an education, sometimes education is a category for me. Business, personal, physical, community, family, spiritual. Um Sometimes people put like I feel like not like downtime, but like I don't know, like hobbies or pastimes or something that's not like very, very like work related, I think. Is also good to think about. So that being said, um, let's go back. I'm gonna go back to this one more time because I'm about to get offline. How is it 7 o'clock? Oh my God. I'm about to go. I'm about to go. Okay. Go back to here. I wanted to see what they had under the sample plans. Get organized, health and fitness, business and weight loss, financial advisor, real estate agent, real estate investing. So these are just examples. So for someone who wants to get organized, let's see what this one looks like. Get my life and home organized over the next 12 weeks. So pick a day each week and plan the meals. At the start of each month, check for birthdays and special occasions. Organize one drawer each week. Pick one room to clean each week. Create a file system for the bills, right? So these are just some examples. That's one goal. Let me see. Go back. I'm just gonna look at. Let's look at the business and weight loss one. That should have like a couple, few goals on there. Oh, this is the same as the other one we saw, but it's just a little bit more involved. So this is the version of the plan I need to create. So that's what I'm gonna work on for myself. Um, Depending on how intimate my goals are, I'll probably share it with y'all tomorrow, but it depends on how intimate my goals are. I ain't trying to tell all my business on the internet. But yeah, so I'm about to wrap up so I can have my evening, and the game is about to come on soon, so I need to get ready for that. But I do appreciate y'all. I hope that other people are going to participate in Hacktoberfest. Actually, I meant to post. I don't know if Preacher posted about it already, but we could talk about Hacktoberfest in the Hackathons channel on Discord. And if you are interested, like if you're somebody that wants to learn how to do open source contributions and you feel more comfortable like going through that process with somebody, I think I'm going to focus tomorrow on and throughout this week as well. I'm going to focus on setting up some key issues inside of our main repository for the free code camp boot camp, so that way there's some opportunities here, like there's some low-hanging fruit, some things that I could just use some support on that really don't take that much time, but it will allow somebody who's maybe never did maybe you never did a pull request before, maybe you never had to rebase, maybe you don't know what a rebase is, maybe you never had to, maybe you're used to working on the repository directly and you never had to fork a repository in order to make changes. So these are all like things that we could work on. So yeah, I'll probably set up a couple of issues, just seeing how many people are actually interested. And then I think if we maybe once a week we can do I'm actually yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the schedule yet, but maybe once a week we can do some open source contribution or open source related GitHub version control related stuff. And then once we get into the boot camp, actually technically version control is supposed to be up first. The only thing that's funny about this is I was trying to think like why did I put this first? And why didn't I put the software development overview first? That's technically what should be first. So I'm probably gonna have to rearrange that. But anyways, I just think ultimately, wherever, whatever we do with, whatever we do with Hacktoberfest is gonna feed into getting started with the free code camp boot camp. So I'm excited about that, but like I said, I can always use support. I'm over here talking about my screen like y'all can see it. Y'all can't even see my screen, but that's all good. So I will be back. I should be back tomorrow. I have a pretty like open day tomorrow as far as like my schedule. I don't have too many things like that I'm time committed to. So I should have some good like working time tomorrow to focus and get some stuff done. And I hope y'all do as well. Tomorrow is the first day of Q4. Like I just want everybody to be encouraged because I know like a lot of us have been working really, really hard, like not just this year, but in the like recent in the recent past, like over this year, over the last year, the last few years. Um, and it's been an uphill battle. I know some people, like, we have more personal conversations, so I know it can be a lot, and I just want everybody to be encouraged because ultimately, like, every day is taking another step forward. Every day is, doing the hard work, like, and like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out. Like, um, you don't even have to like the process like most of the time. um but the results are going to pay for them, or are gonna yeah, the results are going to pay for themselves. So I think ultimately I just want to see that everybody's continuing to move forward. That's why I don't care. I'll be the guinea pig, y'all. I'll put myself out there when I'm struggling, I'll put myself out there when it's a good day or it's a bad day, because it's all of those days put together that actually allows you to make progress. Um, and I hate that there's this idea of, like, I don't know, this like false sense of feeling like, oh, some people are just good at this and they're just this and they're just that. And it's like, no, it's hard fucking work. That's what it is at the end of the day. And if you are willing to do the hard work, which includes improving on yourself, then you will see the results ultimately. You just have to be committed to it. So, tomorrow is our first day of Q4, and I know it's gonna go like this. So that's why I'm just trying to take the time to get as organized as I possibly can for myself, because I know how I am. And as soon as, like, I can already tell it's busy. I haven't even checked my emails. I just seen a bunch of stuff when I was checking my emails. So that's all exciting to me. I just don't want to get off track. I don't want to lose sight of. I never want to be majoring in the minors. You know what I mean? Sometimes, and that's why I said that it's important for me to go back and reevaluate what my goals were, because sometimes you can find yourself being super busy but not actually accomplishing anything that matters to you. And there's a lot of different, reasons why that could possibly happen. But becoming conscious of it and then being intentional about it is pretty much the main thing that you have to do to kind of keep yourself on track. So I hope that, me sharing what I'm talking about, what I'm going through, what I'm struggling with, what I'm accomplishing, overcoming, all that is helpful for y'all as well. All right, so I'm off my soapbox. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.